I like to work in progressions. I think you start them at the most basic thing, and until they can do that basic skill perfectly without messing up a certain amount of times, we're not moving on.
Right.
So that's sometimes where I get, it's harder in camp situations. You're trying to teach them so much information in such a short amount of time that I don't have time to correct every kid in the gym until they get it perfectly.
Right.
So, that part's difficult. I think when you're talking about your closest clients and your people you see all the time, you do have to hone in on that stuff. And I always say experience and everything is irreplaceable. And in my experience, that's what worked for me. And I don't say stuff like this very often, but my experience obviously worked.
Right.
So if my training or my philosophy doesn't work for you, that's okay.
Right.
Because I know a lot of coaches that didn't work for me, and I know, there's trainers out there that I don't really buy into what they do because it doesn't work for me. Same thing in the weight room. If Olympic lifting doesn't work for you, try something else.
Right.
So it's not a perfect fit for everybody, and you just have to find somebody or something to connect to. And once you find that connection, you write it out.
Nice.
And as long as it's benefiting you in the right ways, why ditch it?
Right.
Yeah, I've had multiple clients that this isn't working for me. You're too hard on my kid. They don't want to be yelled at. They don't want to be this. That's fine. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Take them somewhere else. There's hundreds of trainers out there, and that's fine. But I'm never going to lie to your kid. I'm never going to promise them anything because that's not how I was brought up and that's not how I was coached. So that's okay. It's not a perfect fit for everybody.
Yeah, it's not.
No.
Awesome. Now, I wanted to touch on your mom. Your mom's a coach right now, right? Were you coached by mom growing up?
Yeah, until I started playing with other people for another team in middle school. And then in going into 8th grade, my high school coach actually coached my AAU team that I decided to play for. So when I moved to Vancouver, I started playing on his AAU team, and I played for him from that summer until college. Okay. So him and my mom are probably my biggest influences as far as development.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Last question. Let's talk about, we just kind of talked about parents, but so one of my biggest things right now, or kind of issues I'm running into, is having a lot of young kids right now, middle school and high school, and having kind of a helicopter parents where some of them are coaches, and I understand the urge to coach your kid and make sure they're doing it right because they're doing it wrong, right? And then there's other parents that aren't really aren't coaches but may know the game, but they're just on the sideline, always instructing, and kind of never letting that kid be coached by their coach at training and in games. What do you think about that?
That is hard. I don't have a lot of that. I mainly think I don't have a lot of that because I don't even know how to say this in the most politically correct way. I don't enjoy meaningless conversation. I don't just come up to people and say, hey, what's up? How are you? There's not enough time in the day for that. I'm here to get your kid better at basketball.
Yeah, let's
and
work.
You're paying me on the hour.
Let's work, yeah.
So the way I see things, if you're going to pay me to coach or train your kid, then let me do it. And if you don't like what I'm doing, take them somewhere else. Like I said, hundreds of thousands, millions of trainers out there, and I'm not the only one in my city. So if you don't like what I'm doing, go somewhere else. If you want to do it, then do it. I was coached by my mom. I don't think there's an issue with parents coaching their own kids or, helping their kids on the court with all that stuff. I think it's hard to separate coach from parent sometimes.
Definitely.
Sometimes, even in my own household, we struggled with that. My mom would be mad at me at dinner, and I'd be like, what'd I do wrong? She's like, well, you didn't play hard enough. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard to separate those things, but helicopter parents aren't going anywhere. No. And it's one of those things where they're hard conversations to have, and it's, hey, you're paying me to do something. If I paid you to do my taxes, I wouldn't stand over your shoulder and tell you you were doing it wrong or try to help you. That's not what I'm good at.
Right.
I played basketball at the highest level. I want to help your kid get better. And you know what? If I don't do my job, fire me.
Yeah.
But let me do it, because if you don't let me do it and you're helping and your kid still doesn't get better, we don't know what the problem is. So a lot of parents either don't stay for the sessions or they just sit there, because I've had parents, try to say things, and I'll just walk over and be like, hey, just let me have them for an hour.
Yep.
You have them the other 23 hours of the day. Just give them to me for an hour.
And they want that. The kids are like, they can't wait for you to shut up.
They just want to, they want a break, and it's hard,
And I see that.
My little sister plays for us on our high school team. She's a sophomore. And it is so hard to separate being her sister and being her coach sometimes. It's our second year, and it's hard. It's not easy. Sometimes I am still mad at her for a turnover she made 2 games ago. It's frustrating because, you know that they shouldn't do that stuff. But at the same time, when it becomes AAU time and she doesn't play for me anymore, I'm there as a cheerleader, because they hear your crap all the time. They hear, it starts to blend together. And that's the hardest thing, is when I hear parents, well, she doesn't listen to me when I tell her, but she'll listen when you tell her. Yeah, duh. Because you're the parent. You're supposed to be there when they're...
Support.
Yeah, you're supposed to be there, if they get an A on a test, support them. If they fail a test, reprimand them. But basketball is not, sport in general is not something that you can reprimand, because we don't have control a lot of times that the ball goes in the basket. Some days it is and some days it isn't. You can get mad at your kid for not working hard, especially if you're paying for a service. I understand that. Like, if a kid is not working hard, I'll walk up and tell their parents, we're going to wipe this session today because they don't want to be here. And their parents usually agree with them 100%.
Right.
But don't get mad at your kid because they can't do something, or because that's not their fault. They're learning. They're kids.
Yeah.
And I always say this: McDonald's All-Americans don't just walk through the door every day. WNBA players don't. There's less than 75 WNBA players. You know what what's the percentage of them playing D1 basketball is less than 3% or something? It's ridiculous.
Real low.
Your kid might not be the next Maya Moore. She might not be the next Elena Deladon, and that's okay. But you can't do both. And if people, when you try to, sometimes it affects other parts of your relationship. And like, to me, I don't go to your work and challenge what you're doing, so just let me try and do my job, and if it's not a fit, it's not a fit. That's okay. It's not a big deal. I'm never going to have hard feelings if you let me try and do my job.
Cool.
And they're hard conversations to have. 100%. It's awkward.
I know I'll be having some of those.
Yeah, and it is hard, but
for me, like, I can do that because I want that kid to succeed and enjoy this, and not be burnt out. Like, middle school, not be burnt out by the time they're junior, senior.
Basketball's way too fun for that. Like, basketball is one of the most fun sports you can play, because it's just fun. Like, I miss going to the gym and just working out by shooting 100 3-pointers, and being like, oh, that was a good workout for today. That was a good 15-minute shooting workout today.
Right.
We can't do that anymore. Like, I can't go play an hour of pickup and then feel good the next day.
I'm barely working out, man. I need to get my life together.
It's hard though, so it's hard. Sometimes taking a step back and just realizing that kids have to have fun.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes we don't practice basketball. We'll do something else on a Saturday practice because it's still supposed to be fun. And when you start taking basketball too seriously at too young of an age, it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
If you want to be a D1 basketball player and you're working hard enough, you already know how serious it is. So there's no reason to make it more serious than it needs to be.
Stressful.
It's still a sport.
Yeah.
And it can take you a lot of places around the world or the country. Basketball is a crazy sport that can allow you to do that kind of stuff, but if you take it too seriously, then it runs your life. Basketball isn't your identity. It's just something you enjoy doing. It's still a passion, a love. It's a hobby. It's whatever you make it. But if you take it too seriously, it becomes a job way sooner than it should be. Even for WNBA players, it's not a job.
Yeah.
So getting parents and kids to understand that when they're 8 and 9 and 10 years old is challenging sometimes, but you just have to remind them there's a lot more to life than basketball.
Yeah,
so there's no reason to stress about it because the ball's either going to go in or it isn't.
I like that. It's going to go in or it's not.
Yeah, some days it does, some days it doesn't. So.
All right, cool. Last question.
Yes.
Who was your favorite player in high school watching, like college or WNBA? Who'd you love watching or emulating, or just in awe? You already said Sue Bird, which
Bird,
is just
yeah.
a freaking classic. Love her.
Yeah, playing with her in Seattle was incredible. She's
I bet.
seriously just like a guru of everything she does. I love Steve Nash.
Okay.
He developed the opposite foot floater for me, like that the opposite foot layup, the dribbling underneath the basket until they got bored with you.
Yeah.
He was incredible because he was a true point guard to me. Kobe Bryant was a guy I looked up to a lot because of his mindset. He just really did not care what anybody thought about him.
Him and Jordan.
Yeah,
and amongst other guys. Yeah.
Yeah, and I liked players for different reasons. His was his mindset. He just didn't care. Basketball was it for him, and he was one of my favorite players to just watch because he was just a competitor. College-wise, I watched a little bit of college basketball. I loved the NBA when I was little. I liked watching kids when I was in middle school that were in high school, doing what I wanted to do.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I was at a tournament the 8th freshman year, and Tina Charles, we were at the same tournament as her in high school, just watching her dunk in warm-ups, like watching that kind of stuff, like, wow, women can play basketball. Like, this is awesome. Like, she's going to be one of the best players to ever play this game, and I just watched her do that live.
Right.
Playing against Elena Deladon when I was in high school, that kind of stuff those are memories and stuff that you never forget. So finding players that I enjoyed for different reasons was kind of my little niche. I wasn't huge. The only WNBA team that I really, really loved was Houston.
Yeah.
How could you not love?
I know.
How could you not love that team? That's a dynasty. So I loved watching them. I was a huge NBA fan when I was little because I played with boys, so that's all that we ever talked about. They didn't talk about colleges. College is way bigger now than I think it used to be. That's pretty much it
Cool.
for me. Yeah.
I have no more questions. I appreciate you coming by.
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking some time out to talk to the EHOOPies out there.
Yes.
You want to say anything else? Any last minute advice? You got a motto you go by, like a little favorite quote, whatever?
I'm not one for quotes, to be honest with you, because my memory is just too short.
I'm the same way.
If I don't write it down, it's out of my head before I walk out of the door. I have like 15 notebooks full. Main thing for me is just have fun, enjoy it, because basketball ends, and it doesn't have to end fully, but there is going to become a day where you can't play anymore.
Yeah.
So enjoy every minute you can, because basketball is fun.
Awesome.
And it always should be. So,
Always.
yeah.
Well, follow her, guys. Throw out your handle on all social media.
Let me try and think. On Instagram, it's acorral24, and on Twitter, it's
Just look her up. Ashley
It's
Corral.
just Ashley Corral Performance Training. It'll pop up.
Find her.
It's there.
Find her.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate
Thank
you coming by.
Yeah.